tough one. Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock, and it's time to call the February 9th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Elizabeth, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Harker?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilligan?
Here.
Commissioner Spiegler? Here. Commissioner Matthews?
Here.
Commissioner Cooper?
Here.
Commissioner LaPiccolo?
Here.
Thank you. Unless there's any changes that need to be made to tonight's agenda, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
We've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Now, we've got two items under the items of consent. That's the meeting minutes from the January 12th, 2026 meeting and the FY27 budget calendar. Unless there's any questions about the two items on consent, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, there's a battle to that. Pick a commissioner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, great. Now we're going to move on to public comment. Okay. Yes, sir. Come up, state your name, address, and you'll have 3 minutes. You're welcome.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Ed Seeloss. I live at 108 Charles Street here in Beaufort, North Carolina. I've been here for 12 years. The reason I'm here tonight is to discuss something that happened some time ago that I want to bring to your attention. I organized my neighbors in the Charles Street neighborhood, which is East Car Meadows, because we were having issues with flooding in the neighborhood that was getting increasingly worse with each year. So I organized with them and got the town of Beaufort to come out and agree to dig the drainage ditches in our community out because they had filled back in, and also a pipe, an underground pipe behind that drains into behind my community was replaced. And I'm very appreciative of the town of Beaufort. They took those steps, which helped for a while. At that time, we were also very concerned, and I know that Sarah was involved with this, with the Bow Coast development that was going in behind us and how much higher than our community it is. And we were assured at that time by the town engineer and Mr. Gardner that, you know, that was all being engineered and wouldn't cause an issue with the neighborhood, which may or may not be the case. Hopefully it will be the case. The issue is that a while after that, I called Mr. Gardner back because after they had finished all the grading and they were building the homes behind us, they began to bring in more and more fill. And they were building that higher and higher, alarmingly higher. So I gave him a call and I asked about this and I said, there must be a plat or something like this with an elevation. Could we look into this and make sure that they were, you know, abiding to what that was? And I was told that that was a fair question and he would get with the engineer, Greg Mishaw, and they would look into this and get back to me with an answer. And the community, because I'm representing Charles Street, actually. And we never did get a reply to that. And I'm kind of, you know, upset because I made several phone calls about that to follow up with it. I sent emails because I wanted it documented. We've never gotten a reply. So I would like to have that, you know, addressed. So what's transpired since then is we've had some more instances, I'm sure Sarah knows, with that neighborhood flooding out again, especially the middle of the, you know, the center of the intersection. And on top of that, I've had to put over $10,000 into foundation work in my house this year. The foundation is cracked down the middle of the house and the one side is sinking. I've had to have the house jacked up and piers put in. And I'm concerned, you know, what the direction of this is going. So I've been involved with, you know, many meetings over the years. Most of you recognize me with, you know, the different things that Beaufort's had as far as community, you know, and involvement with residents as far as the direction of things going forward and new codes, you know, so I've been involved with that, but I'm kind of concerned that, you know, if we don't make sure that these things are taken care of properly, they're not going to work for us. And I feel that it's, you know, difficult for people that have been living here now for quite some time to have to put up with issues that may be being caused by the new development of people that are coming in. So I just think that it's fair that we take a look at this and it be addressed. And my neighbors and I would appreciate some involvement with the town of Beaufort going forward as to why this community keeps flooding and what could possibly be done to remedy that. And so we're just looking for answers. And I appreciate your time very much on this matter.
All right, thank you very much. We'll get back with you. Okay. We have someone else that signed up for public comment? Shane Guthrie. Okay.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Hi, how you doing?
My name is Shane Guthrie. I'm a candidate for sheriff here in Carteret County. Just want to come to everybody and kind of introduce myself to you and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Carteret County native, born and raised here in Carteret County. I have 34 years in law enforcement currently. I started my career early in 1991. A few years, I went to Dare County for a few years, and I came back home in 94, and I actually worked at Beaufort Police Department. I worked here
Okay.
for about 4 years.
Now, if you want to talk into the mic, everybody else will hear you.
sorry.
There you go.
Anyway, I left from here and I went up to Greenville where I worked Pitt County Sheriff's Office, and I stayed there until I retired with 30 years of service. Still sworn there now, working part-time, serving civil papers. But I returned back home about 3 years ago, working at Willis Insurance now, selling insurance, as an insurance agent. When Asa, our sheriff, currently decided he was going to run for Congress and retire as a sheriff, something hit me in the chest. I started praying about it, and I feel that God was leading me to do this, so that's why I'm running for sheriff. My experience at Pitt County Sheriff's Office taught me a lot of things. I know it's a much larger agency, but they are progressively advanced. We had a lot of different programs and things we went for the community that helps the community out a lot. Some of my initiatives I want to do here is I want to start, one, I want to put AEDs in all the patrol cars. Your police department is already doing that here, and it's a big benefit for people with cardiac arrest victims. This will help people in the county, so a deputy can respond to it quickly and hopefully save lives. We started that in 2015 in Pitt County. The rate went from 30.8% for survival rate up to 80.8%. So that is a 50% increase in survival rate. So that's something I want to do. I'm also going to start a sheriff youth mentorship summer camp program that SROs will head up. That's something we also did up there. It's about a 4-week program, having the kids come in that's kind of needs that for mentorship, let them understand and have a little bit more interaction with our law enforcement officers, and to learn and understand and just kind of mentor them. And usually at the end of it, they usually take them somewhere nice, like a water park or wherever they want to go, wherever they can figure it out. There's some other programs I also want to do is I want to start a citizen academy here. That's for all the citizens of the county, for them to come in. That way they can see and learn and understand what it is we do, what we do, and why we do it, for them better understanding. It builds transparency for the community and builds the trust with the sheriff's office as well. Graduates from that academy that I'm going to have be volunteers, whoever wants to volunteer, is I'm going to start a senior citizen welfare check system. And those volunteers will be put in a county vehicle to go out and check on some of our senior citizens throughout the county. For the people they don't have anybody check on them. We have a lot of senior citizens here, and those people need to be checked on, to put eyeballs on them to see how they're doing.
Getting close to your time.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, that's all. I've got my cards on my handout. I got a website.
All right.
You can contact me at any time.
Thank you. Good luck with your campaign. And we have another person signed up, I believe? Bob Cole. Bob Cole? And Lori Meehan.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to introduce Bob Cole, who is the new general manager for Beaufort Town Docks. He'll introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
Good afternoon. I have a note or two. This was last
Okay.
minute for me, so I just wrote a few things down. My name is Bob Cole. I'm a recent transplant from Portland, Maine. I've been living at 500 Front Street for about 72 hours. I've had the opportunity to meet a few of you. I've had the opportunity to meet quite a few folks on the docks, and I've so far appreciated the hospitality. I'm told the snow is going to melt soon. Not soon enough for me. A little bit about me. My wife and I met in Cherry Point just over 30 years ago. I unofficially proposed to my wife right on the Beaufort docks. Although that interaction was more of a business relationship. We were living in the barracks, she and the female, me and the male, and it was a business arrangement to get off the base. But that was 30 years ago, and we have been looking forward to coming back to this area. This opportunity with Ms. Laurie and F3 presented itself, and we absolutely jumped on the opportunity. Glad to be back. My background is in customer service, both in the military and in sales, and then most recently, the last 15 years in marina and boat service, having started as a weekend dockhand up to running a service department, about 25 men, 7 different disciplines, a very large yacht yard in Cumberland County, Maine. My style is very traditional, and I am in your face, gripping, grinning, smiling. How can I help? That's who I am. I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to providing a high level of customer service that your citizens deserve and your visitors alike. I can be reached 500 Front Street at any time. I thank you for your time.
Well, welcome aboard, Bob.
Thank you
We're
very
so
much.
happy to have you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll stalk you later. Yes, ma'am. Okay, there you go.
Well, hello, everybody. Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen.
I've been cooped up for 3 months, 4 months, something like that, because of leg and arm and all this stuff. But I've been watching you. I'm here to talk about several things. The one thing that I'd like to really talk about is Lennoxville Road. Lennoxville Road is growing. We have an outlet for, I think, 500 houses on Lennoxville Road, and we have other areas down Lennoxville Road are just barren road that are ready for more houses. And Lennoxville Road needs a sidewalk. We need to protect kids that come off of buses. We need people that are coming bike riding. We have Lennoxville Road used for other types of recreation, like a bunch of joggers go down Lennoxville Road. And it's only going to get more and more crowded when further down they have more construction. I understand DOT has been approached about paying for it, because it is a state road, to have a road, and it's like a no deal. Are we going to wait till 5 people die on Lennoxville Road, or are we going to do it before it happens and be able to have sidewalks, correct planning for the future? We don't have to wait for bad things to happen to make a change. Please, please. I understand DOT is looking at Lennoxville Road to put a sidewalk. Please, please do that. We are still a part of the city, so we pay city taxes, and your word will make it happen. I want to thank you very much to give it a lot of consideration and put a resolution to the state. Let's react before it happens rather than after. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else on public comment? Okay. Now we're going to move on to new business. The first item under new business is case number 2601, or -01. That's the preliminary final plat for 110 Davis Bay Drive, and Mr. Garner is going to address that.
Thank you, Mayor. As you just mentioned, this is case 26-01, and this is a combined preliminary and final plat for 110 Davis Bay Drive. The reason why it is a preliminary and final is normally this would be considered a minor subdivision in some other ordinances, but Beaufort does not have a minor subdivision component as part of it, so all major subdivisions, if they do not consider themselves as exempt, have to go before the board, and we gave the applicant this option. So moving forward, this requested action is to divide a 10.1 acre tract into 2 lots. The acreage for those lots are 4.95 acres and 5.06 acres, and that is matching the survey that was included in your packet. The existing zoning is R20. The existing land use is 1 single-family home. The property is located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction. The land use plan does identify this property also as being as rural or working land. It is served by existing private streets. And also included in your packet this evening does have a letter from the Carteret County Environmental Health in regards to septic, and no bonding for infrastructure is needed out in this particular location. We have for you up on the screen in black and white with the hatching showing the property for vicinity, and then we've also provided you an aerial photo identifying where the property in its location off of Lennoxville Road as well. Again, this is the survey I alluded to earlier showing the property to be subdivided. And you can see that it is being asked by Mr. Ray Valicio. Many of you may know Dr. Valicio for his many years of service here in Beaufort. And then the requested actions is a discussion on the preliminary and final plat and then decision. I will also add that the planning board reviewed this at their January meeting and recommended approval unanimous. But at this time, Mayor, I'll be glad to entertain questions.
All right. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Kyle? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Kyle. And you may have already answered my question, but I was curious, just procedurally, so getting a preliminary plat and a final plat at the same time, is that for the reason that you stated about the subdivision?
Yes, ma'am. We do not, since we do not have a minor subdivision, as I mentioned, as in some other jurisdictions, everything has to go through as a major. And in this particular case, because there's not any infrastructure being requested or required, we allow the applicant to combine. And you'll
Okay.
probably see that on the next project after this one.
So you allow, so that is allowable in this case. Normally, we don't see them put together.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions for Kyle? Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So now I'm going to give the board a little time to go ahead and either deliberate, or if someone would like to make a motion, whatever the pleasure of the board is, on case number 26-01.
I'll make a motion. To me, this is just procedural. It's met all the requirements of the town, and the planning board's approved it as well. So I would make a motion to approve the case 2601 preliminary plat for 110 Davis Bay Drive.
We've got a motion on the floor. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, have, yes? Well, I guess we were kind of looking at it together. Do we have to make it
Let's make the
separate?
motion for together, both the preliminary and the final plat.
Okay, all righty. Do you need me to go ahead and poll the vote again?
I think the motion was clarified, so we're okay.
All righty, so everybody said aye, we're good. All right, fantastic. Now we're going to move on to case number 26-02. The subdivision is a preliminary and final plat of 153 Kelly Drive. We got Ms. Eitner to go ahead and present that information.
like the first application, you'll love this one. We've got another application to divide one property into two. There's no infrastructure involved, so we are doing the preliminary and final plat simultaneously. We've got engineered septic system for the new lot. There is an existing property on Tract A. And so Tract 2 being vacant would be created, and then that would be able to be developed with a single-family home. This is all in R20, so we've got plenty of space with our almost 5-acre tract and 2.35 acre tract. I've got maps here showing the property. It's just where Live Oak and Bypass connect on Kelly Drive, which is already a created lot. This identifies the plat, and after discussion, if we make a decision, the planning board did review and unanimously recommend the application.
All right, any questions for Michelle?
Number 4, they tabled the recommendation pending,
No, those
What
are your
addition-
options tonight.
I'm sorry?
These are just your options tonight.
Oh, okay.
The planning board approved it unanimously, or recommended it unanimously for approval.
Michelle,
Well, we've got, actually, Dexter.
oh, I'm sorry, go
That's
ahead.
okay. No, I was just going to ask, does the town receive a notice on the recording? I mean, obviously it didn't go through, and therefore we had to go back through the process again. Is there a formal process that the town would be notified on the recording?
Not necessarily. It's something that we became aware of just in talking with a surveyor. So we weren't aware that the lot was created via deed, and that's when we were able to reach out and let them know that it needed to be created through the formal processes, which they had gone through before and didn't record it in time, so they went through a different avenue, which didn't work.
Would it assist to have notice of the recording?
I don't know that we, is it possible to get notified of every recording that
Well,
happens in town?
specifically on this one, but I'm asking the question.
Oh, absolutely. So at this point, they would have the plat. We would work to get all the signatures required on it.
Right.
So we would be aware that they were moving it forward to the deeds office. And then sometimes they bring us a copy, a paper copy of the recorded version. I don't know that we would be provided, we could ask. I don't know that it's automatic that we would be told that it's been recorded.
Well, they have 60 days to do it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's what you're leaning towards.
That or some notice back to the town that it has been, in fact,
We can keep an
done.
eye
I mean,
on
that-
it.
That seemed to be the problem, that there was no notice or it wasn't discovered. So if there's some way to get at least on this one, to get notice that it has occurred, then you know everything was followed through after going back through this again.
Are you asking that staff follow up with the board to let you know that it's
No,
been
I'm-
recorded?
I was asking, first of all, whether or not we received a notice, and my understanding is we normally don't, so.
Correct.
In this particular case, we may want to receive a notice, but I guess that would be part of any motion.
It could be.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gillikin had a question first.
Michelle, at what point, if any, would we need to be concerned about the road? That's a private road, right?
Yes.
And if it's up to specs, if they, build everything out back there eventually, if we need to think about access for fire rescue at some point, when would that be?
Yes, so note number 9 identifies what requirements has to be met for that, and that is going to be done at the point that a building permit is applied for to develop Tract B. So once they actually expand the development in that area to trigger the requirement for that road, that's when that would happen. So it
Okay.
doesn't necessarily need to happen right now.
Okay, thank you.
And Matt, did you want to add anything to Dexter's question?
Yeah, thank you very much. Commissioner Matthews had asked me that question last week, and I apologize that we were working through it, but I believe the question on the floor was, is there an automatic trigger from Carteret County to notify municipal jurisdiction each time a plat is recorded or a subdivision is recorded? I believe the answer to that question is no. The other piece was in particular to this item, could we have notification? And I would say that based on the amount of communication I've been involved with the property owner, my assumption is they will expeditiously file this one well within a 60-day time frame. And I will go out to say that it's very rare that I've seen this happen where there was an assignment and then there was a misstep on the recipient side. So I wanted to let you know that we were looking into that. So I appreciate Michelle's trying to answer, but I had a little bit more information I just wanted to share.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Any further questions for Michelle? Thank you, Michelle. Great job. All right, so I'll give the time for the board to deliberate on case number 2602, the subdivision, the preliminary and final plat for 153 Kelly Drive. So what is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion that we approve as presented case number 26-02, preliminary and final plat.
We've got a motion on the floor that's acceptable. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed have the same right. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to capital project, budget amendment number 3. That's the USDA stormwater and street improvements. The FY 2026 budget amendment number 4, paving portions of the USD project, USDA. Let me complete that. And Christy Wood is going to be presenting. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. So tonight, there are 2 budget amendments that we're seeking your approval on if you wish to move forward with the paving project. Just to remind you, we discussed this at the Board of Commissioners retreat, and our understanding was it was the board's desire to appropriate the $2.6 million of general fund balance to provide the edge-to-edge paving of the streets in Beaufort that have been impacted by the USDA projects. The total of this paving project is $4.68 million. We have $2.08 million of USDA funds to help offset that cost, and then the Beaufort match would be the $2.6 million. Also during the retreat, it was discussed that, or our understanding was that you would like for Rivers to move forward with obtaining bids for this paving project, and that you would consider potential sale of town property to partially replenish the use of this one-time fund balance appropriation. Rivers has provided the change orders for this additional work for the paving project. So budget amendment number 3 would receive, for the USDA stormwater project, receives the money from the general fund, and budget amendment number 4 is actually sending the money or appropriating the general fund fund balance and transferring it to the project fund. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions? Commissioner Spiegler?
I don't really have a question. I just want to know, I just thank you, Christy, and we did talk about this at the retreat, and I just want to note it's important for us to get this process moving now because as we learned, being a small town, we're not number 1 on the priority list to get paving. And so the sooner we get this, it's not like it happens overnight. So that's why we really want to go ahead and move and do these budget amendments because we know we need to pave our streets, and the sooner we can do it, it's still going to be, I don't want to say a time, but a while down the road. But if we don't act now, then it'll be even longer down the road.
That's correct. Yes.
Any questions from this side?
No questions.
Yeah, just a comment, and Christy already explained this, but just in case you were processing what she said previously, that when the funds are taken out of the general fund, we're gonna try to bring funds back in to replenish what we took out. We don't know if it's gonna be the entire amount, but that's our intention, and we're looking at various options. So just wanna make that clear to the public that it's not gonna be just out of the general fund with no reimbursement.
Now, before I poll the question as to what their pleasure is, I want to make sure that we are making a motion that's clean. So shall we separate each motion considering budget number 3 is separate and then budget number 4 separate? I think if it's next, that would be a good idea, Mayor. Okay. And do we need a second for budget amendment number 3? If it has any USDA connection to it? Second motion, yeah. No? All right, so we're going to take each budget amendment separately. And what is the pleasure of the board when it comes down to approving budget amendment number 3 for the USDA stormwater projects?
I'll move that we approve budget amendment number 3 for the USDA stormwater project.
Thank you. We've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Okay, now we're going to move on to approve the FY 2026 budget amendment number 4. What is the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we approve the FY 26, the number 4 for approval.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. All right.
Mayor, I just want to make a comment too, to say,
Yes.
you know, with doing this beforehand, and Matt has been basically educating us on this, as well as we were basically looking at patchwork through the community. This does help to fill in some of the gaps with edge-to-edge paving. So we have some of the streets in town that are more than 75% torn up, and instead of just coming in and patching, we want to make sure we're doing this right. And this is what part of this whole project of spending the time, spending the money, and putting the effort in to make sure that the job is done properly, the job is done right, and we get this done, because hopefully these roads will last us for years and years to come. So it's important that we do things like this for the community. We've been tasked to get this done. Roads have definitely been a problem. Obviously, everybody knows that in Beaufort, and we appreciate everyone's time and excusing the town's appearance, but we will get this right. So we appreciate everybody's consensus on this. So I appreciate everyone's consensus on this, and thank you, Matt, for leading this through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christie, too.
And Lee.
Thank you so much. All right, so now we're going to move on to the volunteer board appointments. We have 2 in-town members on the HPC, which is your Historic Preservation Commission, that has a 3-year term each. And there's 3 as in-town members on the planning board. Each of those positions are 3 years each. So just for the board's clarification, what we'll do is I'll ask you to open the floor for nominations. We'll be doing each section separately, HPC, then we'll do planning. Once we do that, I'll go around and ask each commissioner to give me a name of a person they would like to nominate, and we'll start building a slate from there. Once the slate is built, I will go ahead and close the floor for nominations, and we'll begin to vote on that slate. Clear as mud? Okay. Let's go ahead and start with the planning board, because there seems to be a lot of people who've applied for that. Let me have a motion to open the floor for nominations for the planning board.
So move.
Got a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Fantastic. Now let's start by seeking nominations. Commissioner Matthews, who would you like to nominate?
Randall Mann.
Okay. Commissioner Spiegler?
I'll nominate Victor Fasolino.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilligan?
I'll nominate Cameron White.
Okay. Commissioner Cooper?
George Stenson.
Okay. And Commissioner Lopiccolo?
Will Barnett.
I'm sorry,
Will Barnett.
Will Burnett. Okay. Any further nominations? Okay, can I get a motion to close the floor to nominations?
So moved.
Okay, fantastic. So as we go around, first one, if you can raise your right hand, Mr. Will Barnett. Who would like to vote for Mr. Will Barnett? I gotta see the hands. That's one. Okay. Need votes for Victor Fasolino. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Vote for Mr. Randall Mann. 1. Okay. And votes for Mr. George Stancio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And a vote for Mr. Cameron White. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All righty, so based on the tally, we have 5 votes for Mr. Victor Fasolino, 4 for Mr. George Stancio, and 3 for Mr. Cameron White. That would be your slate for your planning board for 2020, for the 3 years. Okay? Fantastic. Now we're going to move on to the HPC, and can I get a motion to open the floor for nominations?
So moved.
And a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. All right, so let's hear some nominations.
Nominate Mr. Bradley Hendrick.
Hendricks, okay. Any further nominations? Okay. Then I'll go ahead and close the floor for nominations.
So moved.
All righty, all in favor, say aye.
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 Fantastic. All right, so we have we have nomination for Mr. Bradley Hendricks. Please raise your right hand if you want to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5. Okay. All righty, Mr. Hendricks is now going to assume one of those appointments. We do have another appointment that will have to be re-advertised for the HPC. That's a 3-year term. Okay, very good. Now we're going to move on to the 2026 parking season. Ooh. And that's you, Matt.
So thank you very much, Mayor. We had an exceptional opportunity during our recent town retreat to discuss our parking season for 2026. And what we're bringing forward tonight is an opportunity for the board to set our parking season, which we are recommending begins May 1 and runs through October 1st, which would shorten the period at the backside of the seasonal parking. It would also be an opportunity to research and implement the provision of a free pass per residential household for residents within the town of Beaufort's town limits. And then we would implement a flat rate recommended at $3 for all access parking across the community, whether it is on Front Street or if it's in a premium lot. It's established in a single rate of $3 per hour. And then an update of all of our parking signage. Those are the recommendations being made and brought by staff for consideration, discussion, and potential approval this evening.
Does anybody have any questions for Matt? I know we did have a robust discussion at our retreat, but any further questions you would like to add or ask?
I don't have any questions, but I want to say thank you to Matt and to the staff. They did bring a lot of really good information to us at the retreat, and a lot of the work on the rates and what had happened last year. We don't need to go back into it, but they did a lot of work for us, so we just want to say thank you to the staff.
Okay, great job.
And I just wanted to clarify here that it says to provide each Beaufort Town residential household with a 3-hour parking permit. I think we had talked about tying that to the water bill, right? Because you may not be a Town of Beaufort resident, but you might be in Eastman Creek or another community that's not a Town of Beaufort. Or are we going to do residential in town only?
This would be our recommendation is to in-town only, those that are paying property tax or parcels that are identified with property tax. So it's in town, not those outside of the city limit.
Okay.
And I'd also like to clarify that property tax, that could be one big property holder, like an apartment complex. They have to pay, but each resident inside the apartment complex would get a pass. Is that correct, Matt?
Yes, ma'am, that's
Thank
the
you.
recommendation.
Okay, very good. Any further discussion? Excuse me. So we've got a lot of recommendations that need to be approved. I should probably mention those recommendations in the motion. Okay. So we've got staff requesting us to approve, establish a uniform paid parking season from May the 1st through October the 1st. Provide each Beaufort resident household with a 3-hour free parking pass to support resident access while maintaining parking availability for visitors and shoppers. We fine-tuned that by saying that it was going to be tied to the property taxes, and those who lived in larger complexes would not be exempted. Implement a flat rate of $3 an hour across all parking spaces and lots. We're going to update the parking signage to ensure a more user-friendly and easily understood system. With that being said, can I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the adjustments that Mayor Harker just listed relating to parking changes for the parking program in 2026.
I've got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. We're doing really good. Now we're going to Rock the Docks concert 2026, where we've got Miss Wellborn. You should have some intro music, just to kind of give us a taste.
Hello, Mayor and Commissioners. The Town of Beaufort is asking for a special event permit application approval tonight for the Town of Beaufort to host Rock the Docks. We discussed this at the board retreat, that Rock the Docks had been an event every summer, and it was hosted by the Beaufort Business Association in the past. Last year, unfortunately, they stopped hosting it, and so the Town of Beaufort would like to host it. Our outline for this event is to host 12 dates with live music downtown from May 21st to August 6th. These would be Thursdays from 5 to 8 p.m. in John Newton Park and the adjacent western parking lot. This would be a free, family-friendly event, and it would feature live music of all genres designed to appeal to all segments of the Beaufort community. Here you see a sample flyer, just something I put together with a random musician. This is just, yeah. We have a partnership with the Dock House Restaurant. They are gonna sponsor us for $5,000, which covers the baseline of this event throughout the summer. This event is designed to encourage takeout orders and local dining before and after the event, and support and promote Thursday night patronage to local businesses. Our current budget is $5,000. This covers the 12 shows at minimum $400 a show, which would be $4,800. We are seeking out additional sponsorship opportunities to secure larger bands, and with additional sponsorship opportunities, we can kind of scale up as it allows us to. We have discussed this internally, and police, fire, public works, and admin have approved this event. And then the key dates that we're looking at for possibly those larger bands would be May 21st, the first weekend, or the first week, which would be Memorial Day week. June 11th, which is the Big Rock tournament, and possibly a partnership with F3 for a captain's party. And then July 2nd is that Thursday before Independence Day weekend. And then this changed a little bit from what I had put in your packet and cover sheet. We are seeking approval for, firstly, alcohol to be consumed in John Newton Park. This would be alcohol sold from Dock House, and so it would be partitioned off and as the police do. And then also that western parking lot, we would have a stage in the middle of it. There is electric near there. The other half of the parking lot would be golf cart parking, and then the second half of the parking lot would be the more family-friendly oriented, where no alcohol would be allowed there. So yeah, any questions?
Okay. Last questions for Jen.
So any no alcohol, our police department will monitor that?
Yes. We will have police staffed there.
Just a comment, Jen, thank you for spearheading this and getting the great ideas from BBA, and I appreciate BBA doing this in the past, and it's obvious that our community really, really loved this, so I'm so glad you're a champion, and I'm so glad that the Dock House is willing to be a sponsor. I think that's a great way for them to be involved in our community, and I'm really looking forward to this, so thank you.
Yeah.
Any further comments?
I will second Commissioner Gillikin. I think this is very exciting. I've always enjoyed going and bringing my family. I wonder if y'all have thought maybe about some shade options for the family part of the parking lot, just because it will, it starts getting hot that time of year.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will hash out those details. We do have a town tent now. It's a smaller tent, but we can work through those options too.
Thank you. Well, I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to going myself.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And Rock the Docks have been a huge success in the past, and I know a lot of people in the community kind of missed it this past year. So I'm glad we're kind of trying to bring it back in even a little different shape or form. I'm sure you guys will do a great job as we kind of try to figure out, parking and are we, just a quick question, are we planning, or are you guys planning on possibly closing off that parking lot to
Yes.
just only make it like the day before so that it is only for a golf cart? Or at what point would it be kind of transitioned from that?
So
that
we've been
cars
working
are out of there?
through those details. It would transition at about like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon to make sure, cars can get out. And then we can, the parking, pivot parking is allowed, it can cut it off to where people can't come in. And then the one side would just be golf cart parking, which can accommodate about the same amount of cars total for that parking lot. So it should be comparable amount of people.
Okay. Well, it sounds great. Well, I'm sure the community is will look forward to this event. It's been a success in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you don't think you'd be liable to just close it off for the day? Because vehicles get in there and maybe there may be one or two that by the time you want to close it off is still parked there. So what remedy do you have for that?
So that we would work through with our police department. We don't want to close it off the entire day in the summer because it is a Thursday and it might be busy. It is prime parking down there. Do you have something to add, Matt?
Is that okay? So when we roundtabled this, the one thing that was really helpful is pivot parking, as Jen indicated, can put a timestamp on what you can purchase. So whether you show up at 8, 9, 10, whatever time you choose to park in that space, if you wanted to add 3 hours to your paid parking, you can do so. But there will be a definitive electronic cutoff that won't let you pay beyond 2 o'clock, for example. And that will allow us to stop the flow of traffic in, because that was a very important conversation. The last thing we want to do is take someone's money or tow them from the lot. But we also want to make sure that we're extremely sensitive to all of our Front Street merchants to allow that parking lot to have as much access as possible. So right now, it's a window between that noon hour and 2 p.m. And we know that as we get into the peak of the season, we might need to flex that a little bit as to which hour we cut off the parking. But we do have a plan that the police department has worked through, as well as our team members at Pivot. So we're comfortable coming into at least the May event and adjusting that as necessary.
And we'll have appropriate signage out in that parking lot too.
Earlier, yes.
Any further comments? Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. I think the Park and Rec has been a big advocate for this as far as getting this event going. So I want to thank them for their advocacy and bringing this back to life. I do like the fact that you've expanded it. I think that when the summer comes along, you're going to be hard-pressed to get people from underneath the trees out to the parking lot because they're going to stay with the shade. But my question, too, is although we're encouraging people to bring in food, are we going to have more trash receptacles?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
All righty. And then there's a process for cleaning up after that, because sometimes trash doesn't make it into the receptacles. Shocker.
Yes, we're working through all those
All
details.
right. Just want to make sure it stays clean, it doesn't go into our waterways, right, ladies? Yes. All righty. So with that being said, do we require a motion to go ahead and approve this event? Because there is an alcohol waiver that's involved. So what is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve the special event as presented, including approval of an alcohol waiver for John Newton Park during event hours.
And then it also needs to add the closure of the parking lot. That wasn't written originally in the memo.
To close the parking lot at an appropriate time, but not all day. Okay, so I probably need to clarify that it's not going to be closed all day. That's part of your motion.
Go ahead. So to add closure of the, what's the correct term? to use?
West parking lot?
West parking lot? Okay. Specifically for the times that we've indicated for the event.
That's good. All right, we've got a good motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed have the same right. Now we're going to go on to the
Thank you.
manager's report. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Great job. In between shoveling snow, he had time to come up with a report, y'all. That's nice.
There wasn't that much snow.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to, I'm handing out to the board members, you do have a printed copy of this, but for the help of our community, wanted to give you a brief update on some of the happenings at Town Hall, including that our next meeting, which is slated for February 23rd, is our workshop meeting, anticipated for the 4:00 p.m. And if it's okay with the board, what we wanted to do was to bring greater clarity and focus to our UDO update process, and we would invite our consultants and planning staff as our primary focus of that meeting. And so that's what we're looking forward to 2 weeks from today at 4:00 p.m. I also wanted to thank the board, the team members, and our facilitation staff for helping us through what I believe was a very productive strategic retreat just a couple of weeks ago on the 29th and 30th of January at the Beaufort Hotel. We've developed a strategic list of goals and identified what our top priorities are. Although all the priorities are extremely important, we are definitely looking forward to checking off at least USDA construction and hopefully the associated USDA paving before the conclusion of 2026 on a majority of it. Want to be clear that with the addition of our 21,000 total feet of water line that we have transferred from our primary contractor now to TA Loving and Company may actually run us into the spring of 2027 as there's a substantial amount of work there. But I know that on that list that paving and USDA work are quickly becoming an important factor to every single person here. In part to that, our Turner Street construction update. Turner Street construction continues despite the 1 week delay that we lost due to the most historic winter storm. We are preparing to open Turner Street hopefully by Friday the 14th because not only do we love Turner Street, we love Beaufort and it's Valentine's Day, but most importantly, we know we need to get that area open for Mardi Gras 2026. Would like to stress that when the street is reopened as early as this Friday, that it will not have asphalt and roadway surface portions of that project complete. Turner Street will need to be closed again when we come back to dig up the remaining segments of asphalt and the concrete and the busted up stone that's in position to put in a base of ABC stone and compact it, and then come back with a final coat of 2.5 inches of asphalt. The real delay there is the decorative crosswalk, which will require repouring of concrete and a time for it to cure, for the bricks pavers to go back in. That also adds approximately 7 days to this construction timeline, which means we're going to open for Mardi Gras. That's our goal. Host an exceptional event, which I have the weather prediction has been called in of 70 degrees, perfect low humidity and sunny that day,
Very good.
as opposed to what we've been dealing with.
Very good.
And we do hope that once the weather has a consistent forecast, that our contractors will be able to come back. We're going to give ample notice to the community, to our business owners, but we have stressed the importance of trying to complete that in the month of March so that we don't get into our peak season, which we know will begin in early April, mid-April. So that's the timeline on Turner. Again, Mardi Gras is slated for February 21st. Vendors are still being accepted. Please contact the BBA if you are interested in participating. But we do unfortunately want to report that the Beaufort Historic Sites Mardi Gras Ball has been canceled for February 20th, but that's the only portion of Mardi Gras that was adjusted. Want to thank Chief Tony Ray one more time for his dedication and commitment to the community. We have received well over 100 applications for the role of fire chief, and we are working diligently through that, working to complete our interview process shortly. And our anticipated goal is to make an announcement as early as March. But there are an exceptional amount of candidates, both internal and external. We want to thank everyone for their interest in that important role. Speaking of that, got to work with two great fire chiefs during Winter Storm Gianna, so I'd like to thank Chief Ray, who was at the helm till 11:59 p.m. on Saturday night, and DC Chief Fleeman and I took over at midnight, so we made sure we robo-called Chief Ray and said, "How's retirement going?" Then 5 minutes later, called back and said, "How's retirement going? Do you still have a shovel?" But we worked through that, and so I want to thank Jack for his help, as well as Mark Eakes and our entire team that tried to keep everything moving while we were digging out of the snow. into our economic development, there's an opportunity that our board has identified that the strategic economic development with smart growth opportunity is on our list for 2026. We want to bring forward, there is an event on February 17th. That is a new business panel hosted by the Small Business Center at the Carteret Community College, again on 2/17. If you are running a small business, interested in starting one, or want to learn more, we have panel members on our staff that will be a part of that great process to help make the process easier when you start and make your small business successful within the Beaufort city and town limits. Want to point out that if you haven't seen it, we have a new segment called the Beaufort Minute. And the most recent Beaufort Minute highlighted the Beaufort Community Foundation, which we want to stress is an extremely important opportunity. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a 501c3 group, that if you are interested to see great things happen in Beaufort, would like to make an investment and receive your charitable deduction, we can connect you to the right people. And along those same lines, I want to report that the fuel farm installation process is going well. We did lose a week worth of construction due to the 15-plus inches of snow. But our good friends from Oaks Grading are back on scene working on that fuel tank, and the process is still to be on schedule and remains with a targeted goal of April 2026 for the appropriate distribution and schedule of fuel deliveries. I'll answer any questions that the board may have, and I provided you this copy in writing as well. If there's anything we missed, we'll gladly try to update you.
Any questions for Matt? Great report.
Thank you.
You did so well, you've got them speechless. Well, I want to thank you for all your hard work. And now we're going to move on to the mayor's and commissioners' comments. We're going to start with Mayor Pro Tem Gilligan first.
Sure. I really appreciate everybody being as patient as possible, even with all the sarcasm on social media about our road construction, that we can all laugh a little bit about it. And also slow down some. And one segment of road that I want to bring folks' attention to that I received a lot of complaints about is between Turner Street on Cedar, between Turner and the old Graydon Paul Bridge. I would like to see the speed limit go to 25 in that area, and I would love this board to consider that at some point. A lot of folks are speeding down to where the bridge used to be, and maybe their GPS is leading them there and they don't know that it's a dead end, but there's no reason for people to be speeding by there, especially with the new hotel and the marinas and pedestrians, even on the sidewalks. It's just unnecessary. So looking forward to seeing maybe if we can do a resolution for that to ask DOT to bring that speed limit down to 25 from 35, and just appreciate everyone's patience with everything being torn up. I know myself, when I slow down, I get to take in more of Beaufort, and I tend to stop and roll my window down and talk to people and just slow down the speed of life. So I'm trying to think about the road work positively and just know that I'm not gonna be washing my black truck for the next year, but that's okay. I've got a really good excuse. So that concludes my comments, Mayor.
Okay, well, great. Commissioner Spiegler.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's participating tonight in person and online. This might be the record for our shortest meeting this year, or maybe last year too. So thank you all for sticking with us. And I've seen a lot of snow in my life because North Carolina is not where I'm from. However, I will say I found the snow here this past week very historic and beautiful, and I appreciated it, especially with most people staying inside. It stayed white and beautiful for a very long time, and it was a great experience. So maybe we'll get another one in another 30-some years.
Strike that, strike that. It's the Ohio in her. Commissioner Matthews.
A commitment is definitely demonstrated by those that apply to work on a board in Beaufort. And I want to congratulate those that were selected. And I certainly want to encourage those that applied to continue your commitment to Beaufort and apply again. We need great applicants applying for our boards, and I certainly appreciate your efforts in doing that. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner LoPiccolo.
I want to say thank you to the town for the experience that we had at the board retreat. I thought it was a really great retreat, very productive, informative, and professional. So thank you all. It was great to see, when we were at the retreat, the storm was imminent, and it was really, pretty amazing to see the response of the town between police, fire, utilities, and PR and that, and everybody working together to basically get the town ready for the storm. And again, I'd also want to echo Matt. I appreciate the past fire chief, Tony Ray. I didn't get a chance to say thank you to him at the last meeting, but thank you to him for all his service. I mean, he was even, the guy was retiring the next day at midnight, and he is out there basically still getting the town ready, putting it on his all, and it's a testament to the man's character. So thank you, Tony, for all you've done for the community. We will definitely miss you. And I want to thank F3 for showing up tonight, and welcome to the new Maynard that's going to be running our docks here. I find it's funny that we have a F3, which is also a workout group in town, now being run by orthopedic surgeon Bob Coles at the helm. So to make things even more confusing in our town. So
coincidental.
But
you have to give Bob Cole's nickname.
Right, exactly, exactly. So, but yeah, and thank us again to the community for putting up with us for the roads. We'll get there. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Commissioner Cooper.
Yeah, I thought you was ready to get into my part there about it, which is to really to thank the staff that worked on that historic storm that we had. Our town manager, who luckily still have a family because he spent pretty much the entire weekend making sure that this town stay operational, that the roads eventually was cleared so that those that was in the house for 2-3 days didn't go stir crazy and need to get out. So really want to thank the staff for their hard work that they did. And Chief Ray is certainly enjoying his retirement. A call was made, and he said to the caller, "Don't you know I'm on retirement? I'm asleep."
Was that you? Who called?
No, I didn't. Chief, I didn't make that call. Where I'm at on the camera.
I don't know how he knows the story.
I didn't make the call. I just happened to be there when the call was made.
He's got an alibi. Okay.
But that's what he said. I'm asleep. I'm in retirement. So he's enjoying.
Well, fantastic. I have really nothing to add. Everybody has kind of said the sentiments that I feel about our staff, how wonderful they are, no matter what the weather conditions are. But this one was really different because, as you know, we're not always prepared for this type of snow. But you would not know that by the level of preparation that our staff has had getting us ready. I was at work today and somebody grabbed me and said, "I just want to compliment you guys on what you've done." So it's being seen by a lot of people. So we see you, we thank you and appreciate you. And thank Matt for shoveling snow on air. But we're so glad that he was able to get home to his family. And then I do want to thank the families that supported everybody who actually had to spend a night where they needed to be. I've worked in a hospital for 20 plus years, and I know I've had to spend nights at the hospital where my family was at home, and I appreciate the family supporting those individuals who had to stick around to help keep us safe and secure. And with that being said, I would like to go ahead and get a motion to go into closed session pursuant to the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A and 3.
So moved.
Got a motion on the floor. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, let's be back in 5, please.
My legs think I should be sitting for another 3 hours.